In Journal It, you plan your day with calendar sessions. A calendar session is simply a chunk of time on your calendar. A calendar session can belong to a task, an event, or it can stand by itself and doesn't belong to anything. To create a calendar session, tap the Create button on the main screen, then switch to the Plan tab. Or from the Planner tab, tap the Add button of the desired block. Next, you can select the organizers, edit the date and time if needed. There are 4 ways to select the date for your calendar session. The most simple way is to select the exact date on the small calendar. The second way is by selecting a day of a theme. By this, the calendar session will be scheduled to the next day of the selected theme. You can also specify so that the day must be after a specific date. If there are currently no day with that theme on your calendar, then the app will postpone the scheduling until it's available. The third option is Day with Block, meaning instead of looking for a day with the selected theme like in the second option, the app will look for a day, of any theme, but it must contains the selected block. As the same for Day of Theme, if there are currently no valid day on your calendar, then the app will postpone the scheduling until it's available. The fourth and last option is Backlog, which we'll return later. Next, you'll select the time of day for the calendar session. Here, you can set to an exact time like a traditional calendar app. Or you can choose from the list of blocks that are available for the selected day. Now that you have selected the date and time, you can create a calendar session, a task, or an event. For a simple task or event, the calendar session option is good enough. Only create a task or event if it has multiple calendar sessions. For now, let's go with the calendar session option. In the Edit Calendar Session screen, you can set the title. You can change the color by tapping the menu button, Set Color. A parent of a calendar session can be a task or an event. Let's leave it out for now. You can modify the date and time if needed. The time spent, include information on when and how much time did you spend on that session, which can be added manually or by the timer. Next, you can add a list of completable items, or subtasks. Then you can add note, places, participants, reminders, or comment. You can make it repeat too, but we'll get into it later. Press Done after you finished. To move a session to a different date and time, long press the session, tap Move, then select the new date and time. To duplicate a session, long press it, tap Duplicate, then select the date and time. Now that you have planned calendar sessions for the day, you can start working on them. You can start a timer to log the time you spend on it. Just long press the session, Start Timer. Tap the End button when you're done. To see the timer logs, tap the session, look for Time Spent in the Date and Time section, tap on the amount of time to see detail. You can mark a session as done after finishing it. The finished sessions will be hidden so it won't disturb you anymore for the rest of the day. Tap the Finished Sessions section under the block title to reveal them. You can also add comment by tapping the session, scroll down to the comment section, write your comment, and press Done when you've finished. You can add the session to the timeline by long pressing it, tap Add to Timeline. then select the date and time that it will appear on timeline. Now let's talk about backlog. Backlog is where you can store sessions that you want to do in the future but haven't decided the date yet. To add a new calendar session into backlog, tap the Create button, and on the Date section, select Backlog. You can also set a target for it. A target can be a week or a month. You can also move an existing calendar session into backlog. Just long press the session, tap Move, and on the Date section, select Backlog, then tap Done. To view all the sessions that's currently in backlog, tap the Backlog button on the Planner tab. Here you can see backlog sessions are grouped by their targets. To remove a session from backlog, tap the Calendar button and set the date and time. That's part 1 of For Tasks, Events and Calendar Sessions in Journalit. In part 2, we'll talk in depth about tasks and events and how to make them repeatable. Please check our other videos and comment below if you have any question. Happy journaling!